What is up, everyone? It's your boy Infrar-Ed. Welcome to the Scott Report. Today I am giving you a manga review of The Promised Neverland Chapter 4. All caught up, all ready to go so we can get it in with this series every week. In Chapter 4, man, this was a doozy of a chapter. But first, before we get into it, this series has been picked up by American Shonen Jump. So it's going to come out in the American Jump on their website at the same time as it does in Japan. So that proves that the popularity of this series is skyrocketing. Dark Shonen is definitely winning, and that is a good thing for this chapter. As we get into this chapter, we're actually introduced to a character that we haven't seen in a while, which is Ray. He's the third kid in the three, and we get some time with him in this chapter, but we also start to blow the popsicle stand or get the plan together as Emma and Norman are looking for the rope, and they actually are going to the storage room to find this rope. And they say that this room is somewhere that Mama rarely goes into or never goes into, so they should be able to get into it if they can break in, get the rope, and get out without too much suspicion. But again, it goes back to me saying that I think they're underestimating Mama greatly, as I'm pretty sure she takes some type of inventory or does some type of inventory of all this stuff that she has in that room, or somebody's doing it. So I'm pretty sure she's gonna notice that something's missing. They don't end up finding a rope, and instead what they're going to do is they're just gonna take a whole bunch of bed sheets and tablecloths and tie them together to make the rope and go over the wall. But also in this chapter, again, we do get to meet Ray, and we get to see like some of the mythology, we get to see the mindset of the characters, and we get to see the differences between the three in this series. As first and foremost, there are 37 kids in this orphanage, and Emma, she wants to break out all 37 of the kids. And this is where we get the contrast finally between the characters, where Ray is more the realist. Ray is the person who is saying, you know what, this plan is a dream. It's impossible. There's no way we're going to be able to get 37 children out of this place without being noticed, without being caught. Also, add to the fact that these kids are between the ages of 6 and 11. It would be too much of a burden. Our best bet would be to try to just escape ourselves. I mean, think about it. If we get caught trying to save these kids, we're done anyway. The best thing that we should do is try to save ourselves, while you have Emma on the other side. And this is where the shonen elements come in, and I admit it kind of irks me a little bit, as she's like, well, no, if we stick together we can do it. We're gonna get everybody out here. It's not gonna be any problems. You're just being negative, Ray. And I have to agree with Ray on this one. I think it is too big of a risk for them to try to escape on their own, especially with that many children. What I do think is that it probably is some type of people over the wall, maybe some type of camp or something over the wall. And Ray points this out as well, as in the chapter he actually finds a book that was published in 2015, and it's been 30 years since that book was written in this series. He says, okay, fine, since you want to try to get over this wall so bad, we still can't take everybody with us, but maybe we should try to get over this wall and see if we can find some other people and get some help. But I still say we shouldn't try to take this many people. We should just try to survive ourselves first and then come back. And again, I think that is way more sound of a plan than what Emma is proposing. Also with Norman, again, he is the brains of this unit. But he says we're going to need Ray, because Ray is very good with machinery. So if we run into any type of tech, or we get any type of tech, we're definitely going to need him. And he's been in the dark this entire time. They haven't even told him about what they're doing. And when he sees them, he noticed that Norman and Emma has been acting really strange as of late. So he said, what are you guys up to? What's your plan? And when they let him in on the plan, that's when he says his side of the story. And I have to agree with him. So now we have our unit of three. They're going to try to escape together. But what's beyond this wall? That is what's so intriguing about this series, is that we don't know. And with Emma being so optimistic, I kind of fear that when they do get over this wall, they're going to run into some type of massacre. Like maybe they are going to try to get away with a bunch of kids and they're going to get wiped up. They could get recaptured again. I just don't see this going that clean, as this series is starting off too dark for it to end that well. Also, again, something that I really like about this series is how dire the straits are. As something as finding a rope can be straight up life or death, as they are pretty much facing being caught or whatever, just going into the storage room to get a rope to go over a wall, and just to try to find something that minimal and make it this big of a deal. I love the world building and the sense of suspense and dread that this chapter is bringing. Another thing that I need to point out is Norman as a character himself. He's very smart, but we found out something really big about him in this chapter. That was pointed out about Ray. Ray is like, you know what, you're smart. You're extremely smart. And something like this you would think is crazy and you wouldn't even want to deal with it. If we try this plan, we're going to fail one way or another. So what's going on? And that's what Norman reveals, that he loves Emma. He loves Emma and he doesn't want to see her cry again. She's a very strong person and he's never seen her cry before. But that night that she saw Connie dead and she realized what is going on, he doesn't want to see her experience that type of pain again. And he says, in order to make that happen, I'm going to do whatever I can to make sure she achieves her goal, even if it does seem like it's out of reach or a dream. So that's a little bit of a death flag for Norman, and I'm going to hate to see him sacrifice himself because we know he is. Be back here as of this video that came out on August 30th, 2016, when Norman dies sacrificing himself. You heard it here probably first on the Scout Report. So when that guy sacrificed himself and died, I said it, I already called it. So that was this chapter in a nutshell, as well as now that the team is together. It ended like on a more positive note than the first 3 chapters, without that sense of dread. Now it's everybody being together and trying to actually get out and achieve their goals. So I am loving this series so far, and clearly a lot of people are loving it too, as again, it was picked up by American Shonen Jump for them to pretty much put it out at the same time as Japan's doing, because you know they only do that for like One Piece and Naruto and things, and Bleach. They were doing that for the big 3. So for them to have that much confidence in this series definitely is a good thing for the Promised Neverland. I know I'm definitely on for the ride. So be here next week as we get into chapter 5, and I cannot wait. It definitely got me on pins and needles for that next chapter. So I'm gonna go ahead and end it here, guys. Thanks for watching this video. If you guys liked the video, go ahead and drop it a like. And if you want to hear more, go ahead and hit that subscribe button, as there's not a shortage of content for you guys to indulge on this channel. And of course, as I always say, you guys could be anywhere on YouTube right now, but you chose to listen to me, and I really appreciate that. So thanks for stopping by. On that note, it's your boy Infrar-Ed signing out. See you soon.